Hello, manatees at home. This is Mr. Vinzant, your art teacher, and this is the project we're going to be working on tomorrow in art class with 4th grade. We're going to do a quick review of warm and cool colors. Warm colors are any colors you would use to paint or color something warm, like a fire or a sunset. Those are all different shades of red, orange, and yellow. Cool colors are different shades of blues, purples, and greens. Cool colors, warm colors. We're going to make a simple landscape. Now, a landscape is just a drawing of an outside scene that looks like it's off in the distance. And what we're going to do is we're going to make an ocean, a beautiful big wave that's in the foreground, the area closest to us. We'll see the ocean in the background and some mountains and a sunset sky. So, I'm going to start over on this side of the paper, and I'm going to make what looks like a big letter C. And I'm going to come up and over like this. So we'll make a letter C and have it go up to a point and come back down. This is going to be the big wave that's in the foreground. I'm going to come around a little bit, and I'll make this line go right to the edge of the paper. And just to make the wave look a little more interesting, we'll put a few more lines going around it like this. I'll start up here. So we have this huge wave. We'll put a few more lines down here. One more that comes off of this way. Now, here's the ocean behind in the background. We're just going to put a couple lines like this. And let's see, I'll make a line just to change it up. It's kind of bumpy. And we can put another line right next to that. And then we will put a straight line through here. And this will be our horizon line, and we'll put some mountains. How about we do this? We'll start right here so it looks like we're looking through the wave at this mountain coming up. So you can kind of see the mountain start there and go up this way. We'll make one more mountain here and a smaller one here. And if we want, we'll put a giant sun right here so we can get some warm colors up in that sky. Alright, I will put some lines around the sun just to remind me that I want to accent those lines. So now we have this giant wave in the foreground. We see the ocean behind it, these cool mountains, and the sun. We are going to use all of our cool colors for the mountains, the wave, and the ocean down below. And we're going to use all of our warm colors in the sky. Alright, I'm going to show you how to color bits and pieces of this, and I'll show you the finished project and the product, the finished product, and then I'll show you what we're going to do at the very end. Okay, so we have all these different shades of blue and green. I'm going to take the green crayons and just put them off to the side, and we'll just start with some different shades of blue. And we can start right here coloring this shape, and I have this blue-green, this teal color. It's helpful if you outline first. Helps me stay on the lines at least. I find it helpful. So I'm going to go ahead and outline right here. You want to press down really hard so these colors are nice and bright. And we can fill this whole section in with this blue-green. Okay, I won't color the whole thing because it would take a long time for me to color this whole thing. So I can finish coloring blue-green in here and in here. Maybe next I'll use this darker blue for this section. We're going to color these colors right up next to each other, and we'll fill this whole section in so it's nice and neat all the way around to this point here. A neat thing you can do to change it up is maybe in this section, this is a light green. I'm just going to add a little bit of that because it is a cool color. We can certainly use it down here. But we want this ocean and this water to look like it has all these different beautiful colors in there. So I'm going to add some of that, and then maybe I'll take this blue and go right over the top so we'll see a little bit of that blue and green working together to make it very colorful. Okay. We'll color the warm colors right up to this, the cool colors. These are all cool colors. We'll color the cool colors right up to this horizon line where the mountains start. Now the mountains, we can just use light green and dark green to color the mountains. I'll go right along this way so I'm not going into the ocean. I've got to turn the paper just a little bit so it works with my arm here. You'll notice there's some white spaces in there. We can fill those in with some of this darker green towards the bottom maybe. And let these colors work together in the mountains. Now for the sun, we can start with some yellow. outline a little bit so I can stay inside the lines. Press down hard. I'm going to fill in this beautiful yellow sun here setting in the sky. And we'll fill it in so there's no white spaces anywhere, or as few as we can get. Now the sky, what I would like to do is start with some lighter orange, and I'm going to color outward. Let's see, let me outline first. I'm going to make these lines go out and away from the sun, kind of like these lines I put in there. And I'll start with some lighter orange, and then I'm going to fade it out to darker orange and then to red. So I'll keep going like this, fill in my white spaces here. We don't want to leave any white spaces, but I'm going a little fast because I want to get this mostly done so you can kind of see what direction you're going to go. Let me find a darker green, or darker orange, I'm sorry. And I'll put some darker orange in here, and I'll blend this darker orange into the lighter orange that we just used. And these colors will continue over the top of this wave here. And then I'll take some red and fill in the rest of it. It's a little tricky at the top of the page, so you do have to go that side to side a little bit, just so you're not going all over your table and making a mess. So we'll fill in the whole sky like that. Here's a copy of one that I have finished coloring. And you can see I have all the cool colors down here in the water, the big wave, as well as the ocean. We used the light green in the mountains, and I did blend a little bit of light orange in here in the sun, and then the sunset colors are up in the sky. The last thing you want to do is take a black crayon and trace over all the pencil lines that you made. Press down really hard for that, okay? Now we're done with the crayon work, and what you can do to finalize this, if you have any paint at home, you can take some blue, and I added water to this blue paint to make it a watery blue. You can see it's a nice watery color. And I added some water to this red paint for my warm colors. And what's going to happen is when we paint over this, if you press down hard with the crayon, the paint will not stick to the crayon, but it'll fill in all the little tiny white spaces. Let's see if it works. I'm going to take this red, the watery red, and I'm going to start painting over my warm colors. And this will look kind of pink, which is great. Pink is also considered a warm color. And you'll notice that it's filling in all the white spaces on the crayon work. So we're using paint and crayon to make this work of art. We can even go right over the sun, but we don't want to go over the mountains. You'll see the paint start to beat up a little bit. That's because the crayon is made from wax, which comes from oil, and the paint has water in it, and water and oil do not mix, so the paint will not stick to the crayon, which is pretty cool. Alright, so I filled in all the white spaces there. Any extra paint that's sitting on the paper, you can use a paper towel or a napkin and just kind of dab it up. It's better to spread as much of this out than to have puddles on the paper. Oops. Now, I'll take my watery blue and I can fill in this whole bottom part, and what this should do is fill in all the white spaces where there are cool colors. And this is our little project. Now today we will not have a lot of time for the classes here at school, so we will just begin the coloring. The next Wednesday that I see 4th grade, we will continue to color, hopefully finish coloring and be able to paint. So this is a 2-class project. It'll take 2 Wednesdays to get it done. But this is what it looks like when it's all done. Pretty cool work of art. It's got some depth to it, if you remember. Depth is how deep something is, and in art, it's how far things look like they're going back into the distance. And here it looks like we've got these mountains way back in the distance because they're smaller, and we've got the sun setting behind the mountains, we've got this big wave and the ocean right behind it. So that's our project for today. I do hope you enjoy it. I would love to see any pictures, and if you have any questions, you can email me through Schoology.